actually. Happy and tired New Year's. Like I was just explaining to Maria, we were up all night listening to fireworks. Fireworks started here in Kailua starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. No, what am I saying? 11 o'clock yesterday and didn't stop until about 3:30 this morning. Thankfully, because all the rain that's coming down, it's been dumping rain and it finally stopped. But it's been going pretty crazy here as far as rain. They always say during war, but that's back when explosives were made from silver nitrate. It cloud seeded, so it rained a lot. I think it was a storm was coming through anyways, and I think the smoke helped. But it was good because it was like a third stage smog alert at some points here in Enchanted Lakes area because of the fireworks, and the lungs and the eyes were burning a little bit. But we shall start, and we're going to do a lot of shoulder stretching this morning because it gets really tight this time of year. And we're going to work on seeing what it takes to open up the shoulder girdle. And we're going to find out, we're going to do some things that get you to understand the shoulder girdle is part of the chest and the neck, and we need to stabilize those structures and move from our core instead of disengaging the shoulders to move the arms. We want to move from a stabilized core so we don't get injuries to the shoulders, because that is among the biggest ailments that some people get, is that shoulders become a really big issue because they get injured, because it is such a mobile joint. It's the most mobile joint in the human body, and it's only attached by 21 muscles. But the interesting feature is that the pectoralis major, the big pec muscle in the front, is counteracted by 5 muscles in the back. So we have one big giant muscle like a bird. We tend to be able to close really well, but we don't open really well. And if we don't coordinate those 5 muscles behind us, then we start getting a huge muscular imbalance. So that's what we're going to work on today, is opening up the shoulders, time under tension. So we're going to start. And it's always weird to start a shoulder opening way down at the feet. We're going to open up the calves. You know what? I might steal Mario's blocks. Mario may or may not jump in. We got a lot of things we got to do today. So I'm going to use her block because it's lighter in coloring. You can see what I'm doing. You're going to step onto the block. The ball of your foot is on the block. Your heel drops down. Your abs are nice and tight. Your shoulder blades are down and back. You're sucking first, second, third chakras in. And we're going to start out by just simply pumping your hips forward. In opening up the shoulders, we got to open up this muscle, the gastrocnemius. It's one of the calf muscles, in order to get the shoulders to be able to go in the right position, as well as the head. So keep your abs engaged, suck in that tummy, make that old Momona go away. Seemed to have dragged from last year to here. I don't know how that happened. Suck in that tummy, keep your abs engaged, smiles are up. And now we're going to break it into a hip circle. I want you to take it into a hip circle where you're moving your hips through the full range of motion. Suck that tummy in. See what it feels like to open up the calf in different angles. Opposite direction. You're smiling up. Keep breathing. Okay, then we're going to do our basic. We're going to step forward, step back, hips back. Try to keep both feet parallel. This is the hardest piece to this, is that we want to turn our feet out, especially in the rear, because it gives us stability. Keep that foot parallel as you step forward and step back. You can engage your hands to work too, as we walk through. Keep your abs tight, tight abs. First, second, third chakras fired up. First chakra is your pelvic floor. Second chakra is your lower abs. Third chakra is your upper abs. We're working those muscle groups of our core. Okay, good. We're going to switch sides. You know what? I'll move more towards the center since it may just be me. Ball of your foot is on the block. Your heel drops down. Abs are nice and tight. First, second, third chakras are on. Time under tension. Your quads are on. Calves are on. Abs. First, second, third chakras are fired up. Shoulder blades down and back. Head over the top of your pelvic floor as you now pump your hips forward. Suck in your tummy. We're working muscles and not joints, so you shouldn't feel this in any joints. You shouldn't feel this in your knees or your low back, and if You do, it means you need to tighten up something like your abs and your quads and your calves and your hamstrings. You're breathing. Keep those abs engaged. Smiles are up. And here we go, hip circles. Just see what things feel like. Suck in that tummy. And now go in the opposite direction. See what things feel like. There should be no cracking or popping. There should be no joint tenderness because we're stretching muscles and not working joints. Keep breathing, and now step forward, step back, hips back. It's just like you're walking. Try to keep your feet parallel. Step forward, hips forward. Hips forward allows you to keep your head up in case your heel suddenly drops down. So very important. So when your heel does drop down, your face doesn't have to make contact with the ground. Smiles are up. Suck in that tummy. 8, 9. Even though it's the new year, 2022, I still don't know how to count, so that's okay. Feet come back to parallel, abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. We're gonna just do a basic hip circle. See if it feels different. Feel if it feels easier to get your head back and your shoulder blades down and back, and that was the whole point of opening up the calves, because we're trying to affect the shoulder mechanics. Go in the opposite direction. Very nice. We're going to move this aside. We're going to work time under tension again. So we're going to stand with our feet parallel, and we're going to start now. Hips width apart. Here's your ASIS. Here's your pubic symphysis. Midway in between, there's your hip joints. That's the width of your stance. That's how far we want the feet apart, not wider. And then you're going to push down with parallel feet, your big toe and the corresponding metatarsal head, outer 4 toes and the corresponding metatarsal head, especially that pinky toe, and finally that heel. One-third the weight is through your toes, one-third the weight through the balls of your feet, one-third the weight through your heels. That means the majority of weight is forward in your foot. Put a slight bend in your knees, turn your knees out, fire your calves, your quad. Activate your pelvic floor. First chakra fires up. Second chakra, your lower abs fires up. Third chakra, your upper abs, they go engaged. As you draw your shoulder blades down and back, your abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Keep sucking it in. And we're going to do our little squat. You're going to squat down and then come back up. Suck that tummy in. At no point do your abs shut off. We're trying to keep the abs engaged the whole time, especially at the bottom where we tend to cheat because we think we can rest, and at the top because we're used to doing activity up there and we know how to shut things off. Keep your abs engaged the whole time. Keep your abs tight, like you're trying to pick something up without anyone noticing. Like, I'm gonna pick that up, no one's noticing. Just 2 more times. Keep your quads on, don't let them turn off. See what wants to turn off in simple activities. Okay, shoulder blades are down and back. Now we're gonna start. You're gonna take your hands, you're gonna interlock them behind your back. So your goal right now is to rip your arms apart, but your fingers are keeping everything together. Abs are nice and tight. This is the easy part to shut off your abs. We want you to tighten your abs. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. So this is where we're gonna start working the shoulders. Shoulders go forward, then shoulders go back. Shoulders forward, shoulders back. Keep your abs engaged. Don't let your tummy stick out. You're just pumping the motion and you're simultaneously ripping apart your arms. There's no cracking or popping because we're using muscles and not joints. Keep your legs alive and your abs engaged. Suck in that tummy. It's really easy to have your tummy pop out. Don't let your tummy pop out. Okay, now squeeze your shoulder blades down and back as hard as you can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now try to get your palms of your hands together as you move your head left and right. We're just opening up stretch. You can even add rotation. Keep breathing. Yeah, interesting music this morning. It's always fun trying to get unlicensed music. That's not weird. Suck in that tummy. Keep ripping your arms apart, keep your abs engaged, keep your quads on as you now just pump your arms back behind you. It's hard to work good posture. We're going to work it. Knees bent, abs engaged, pelvic floor on, and shake out your arms. Shake, 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 shake. Just see what everything feels like. Then we're going to start all our little weird exercises. We're going to push our arm out like we're hacking outwards. And then you're going to catch it with your right hand. And you're going to resist that motion from happening. So this arm's pushing out, and this one's hooking on, and you're going to pump your arms away from you. Suck in that tummy as you do it. Suck it in, suck it in, suck it in, pump it back behind you. Really create that dynamic tension of work in the upper half of your body. We're stabilizing the shoulders. And good. So now we're going to switch. So now your right arm is going to go out. Your left arm is going to catch it and prevent it. Shoulder blades go down and back. You're creating a dynamic ring behind you, and then you're going to pump those arms back behind you. See what it feels like. See if it feels different. Don't let the tension be in your neck. It should be in your shoulders and in your abs. Jaws relaxed, legs are alive. Abs are engaged. And good. Shake out your arms. So you should feel the dynamic tension in your arms already. You're going to bend. Let's see, how should I explain this? Right fingers go into left cubital fossa. You're going to take this arm over and push it down. So your shoulder's going down. You're going to lean your head away. And you're going to go head back and forth. It's going to be early Beastie Boys. You should feel the stretch of what's called your brachial plexus and your scalene muscles of your neck. Okay, let's do the opposite side as you bring your left fingers into your right elbow, and then you're going to take your other set of fingers, push your shoulder down, lean your head away. Same thing, you're going to take your head back and forwards. Jaws relaxed. Smiles are up, abs are engaged. And you're breathing. Oh, and the fireworks are starting again. And good. Just shake out those arms again. We're going to go through a second motion. You're going to take your left arm up this time. You're going up. We're resisting by pushing down, creating that oppositional force, creating that upper ring in the body. Draw your shoulder blades down and back, suck in your tummy. You're going to pump your arms away as you're creating that resistance. Chest up. Like I've said, over the last 3 weeks, I've seen your guys' arms tone a lot. And it's because you're starting to use your arms and shoulders dynamically. And that's how much we get away from that. Suck in that tummy. Chest up. Shoulder blades down and back so you don't look like you're in the military. Okay, good. Now you're going to take that right arm up, left arm pushes down, creating that same ring. Abs are nice and tight. Create that opposition. Really push into each other. You're working your arms. If they're not tired, you're doing something wrong. Suck in your tummy. Keep breathing. Keep your abs engaged. Okay, good. Shake out those arms. We're going to do the single hardest one. We're going to bring the palms of your hands together back behind you. You're sucking in your tummy. Keep a credit card in between the palms of your hands that's attached by a string to someone that wants to spend your money. Keep your abs engaged and then pump your arms away. They're going away as your palms are together. Chest up. Don't look like Monday Night Football. We want you to look like your chest is up. Keep breathing. Keep sucking your tummy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Shake out those arms. They should be kind of sore because we're using our arms. You're going to take your, what is this? Right arm behind your left shoulder blade. Your abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Abs are engaged. We're going to hinge from the hips so your quads are on, abs are nice and tight. You're going to lean forward, straight spine, suck in your tummy. No tummies are hanging out. Keep breathing. You should feel the opening of your shoulder as you're in this very awkward position. Five more seconds. Keep that spine straight, abs engaged. You should not feel this in any joint. If you do, you need to turn on muscles. Okay, we're going to come back all the way up, and then we're going to arch backwards. So you can see how shoulder motion can restrict a lot of parts of your body. You can rotate your head slightly. So when the shoulder gets tight, you get neck tightness, you get spinal tightness. Your body starts doing all sorts of crazy things to adapt, to manage tension in the wrong place. Okay, come back to center. Shake out this arm. Shake, 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 shake. We're going to now take this arm, do the same thing back behind you. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. I totally forgot what we did on the other side. Did we move our head and neck around? I can't remember. Okay, we're going to do our forward fold. Chest is up, abs are nice and tight, you're sucking your tummy. Draw that shoulder blades down and back and just feel what it feels like to open up this side and see if there's a muscular imbalance. Ultimately, what we're doing this for is to open up the neck. Keep time under tension so your quads are on, your calves are on, your abs are on, your lats are on. 5 more seconds. Suck in that tummy. And then come back all the way up as we now arch in the opposite direction. As you're in this position, you can rotate your head around and neck. Notice if one side's tighter than the other. If it is, we call that muscular imbalance. We want to balance that out. Okay, good. Come back to center, shake out this arm. See if they felt different. Now we're going to take this right arm and we're going to send it up and we're going to push down with our left hand. As you draw your shoulder blades down and back, abs are engaged, quads are on. You're creating the dynamic ring in the front of the body as you now lift up and lower down. These are turning on muscles, but it's also providing a stretch. So as you're stabilizing, you're creating stretch. Functional stretch. Don't let there be clicking and popping. Make sure muscles stay on to support the shoulder joint. Smiles are up, suck in that tummy. Okay, keep your arms up as you do now circles. We're going to start opening up the spine as you stabilize your shoulders. You're moving from your abs. Now going the opposite directions, your arms should be dying just about now if you're doing everything correctly, creating that opposition, suck in that tummy. Okay, let's switch. So your left arm's coming up, your right arm's resisting it, shoulder blades go down and back, chest goes up, abs go on, legs are bent, quads are on, first, second, third chakras are on. And we're going to start lifting and lowering. Smiles are up. Keep breathing. There will be no lunch lady arms here. Keep pushing apart. I mean, you're crushing it. You're crushing your hands together. Okay, and then circle it out. This is why golfers have such a hard time, because they want to move from their arms instead of from their core. And now, opposite direction. You're having to move from your core and create a ring of energy in your arms. Okay, shake that out. Shake, 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 shake. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. You're going to bring your right fingers to your left elbow, and then your left hand onto your right elbow, and push it down. We're going to lean our head back as we go back and forth once again. Back in the 90s, if you did this, you thought you were a gangster. Yes, Okay. We're going to do the other side. You're going to take, let's see, I don't know. Just drive your left shoulder down, head goes away, abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy, you're leaning your head back and forth. This is really getting those deep scalene muscles. It's getting your levator. It's getting your upper trap. And it's opening up that brachial plexus. And good. Go ahead and shake out your arms. You should have noticed also an interesting phenomenon that happens. It opens up your ear canals. So you should hear your ears popping and drainage out of your ears. Especially after last night, my ears are still ringing this morning from the sound of the fireworks, and I wore earplugs. Suck in your tummy, abs are engaged. You're going to interlock your fingers, and you're going to try to pull apart. So you're trying to pull apart with your arms. Let me stand over here. Abs are nice and tight. Shoulder blades are down and back. Suck in your tummy. Bend your knees, and then you're going to lift lower as you're ripping apart. Really get that ripping of your arms apart and your fingers holding together, creating that opposition of the upper body ring. We want nice toned arms as we do this. Suck in your tummy. Suck, 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 suck. Okay, and now keep that ripping apart going on as you move your arms. We're going to go through golf motions of keeping the arms straight, elbows straight, moving through your core, not even through your knees, but through your abs. Opposite direction. Suck in your tummy. Okay, good. Shake out your arms. That means we have one last motion. We're going to push the palms of our hands together. Wait, no, we got two more motions. So you're squeezing, no, we're going to skip that one then, since we have two more. We're going to hack away this time. You're going down, you're going to resist it going down. Abs are nice and tight, shoulder blades are going down and back. You're going to lift up and lower. This is getting the backside of your shoulders. So very important to keep the backside healthy. Like I said, there are 5 muscles that keep your shoulder blades down and back, and one big gigantic one that pulls you forward. That's why no one ever goes, I love chicken back meat. They go, I like breast meat, because there's nothing on the back. Okay, here we go. Abs are nice and tight. Too bad Maria's not here helping me count, because this means I'm just doing what I do. Opposite direction. Keep ripping those arms apart. Okay, good. Shake it out. You should feel this. If you don't feel it, you're not working. We're going to hack down this way. You're going to prevent it with your right hand. Abs are nice and tight. Shoulder blades go down and back. Abs engage as you go up and down. You're breathing. So Mari's busy in the kitchen making mochi for New Year's. Abs are nice and tight. That's why I said she may or may not join us. Probably not, because she's making mochi. One more. And here we go. Rip apart your arms. Work through your abs. Keep your arms straight. Be good golfers. Keep breathing. And now opposite direction. This is one heck of an arm workout, if you do it correctly. Abs are engaged. All right, shake out those arms. Shake, 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 shake. Feel it yet? We do our last one. We're gonna put our palms together. There is a credit card in between your hands that you don't wanna lose. Elbows stay straight, abs go on, lats go on. You're gonna bring your arms up and down. Suck in that tummy. There was a Bugs Bunny cartoon called Open Sesame. And there was a character named Hassan, and Hassan would chop. So we're gonna do the Hassan chop. Abs are nice and tight. That's back when we could say things that were slightly racist and it was okay. Keep squeezing, don't lose that credit card. And here we go, squeeze. Keep your arms straight, don't bend your elbows, move through your core. You should be using your abs and your lats now as you're squeezing. Opposite direction, suck in that tummy. And in a second, you're gonna see why we did all of this. Okay, shake out those arms. Okay, move your head and neck around. It should be one heck of a lot easier to move your neck around because you've taken the motion of the shoulders and put them in the shoulders and the abs instead of putting them into your neck. So the neck should feel like it moves easier. We're going to continue with these cervical motions though. As your head comes back to neutral, we're going to try to move the head off to the left, but we're going to prevent it with the right hand. So you get this oppositional ring right here. Abs are engaged, suck in your tummy, shoulder blades are down and back, but the credit card is now between your head and your hand, and you're going to say yes. Suck in your tummy. Nine, 10. We're going to do the opposite side. Your head's going to try to go to the right. Your left hand prevents it. The credit card's between your hand and your head. You're pushing, creating this ring, and then we're going to say yes. Smiles are up. Don't put it into your jaw. Again, you might hear your ears cracking and popping, and that's good. All right. Arms down. You're going to try to rotate your head to the left. You're going to oppose it with your left hand. The credit card goes onto your forehead. This is more the oh my goodness gracious posture. And you're going to do the same thing, back and forth with head rotation. You're trying to rotate your head to the left. Suck in that tummy. Good. Other side, we're going to try to rotate our head to the right. We're going to resist it, putting the credit card between our hand and our head. And we're going to say, oh my goodness gracious, once again. Suck in that tummy. No cracking and popping in your neck because you're using muscles, not joints. Okay, good. Shake out those arms. Wow, we did a lot in the upper body. See what your head and neck feel like now. Should feel a whole lot easier to move that neck around. Feel a whole lot freer. The shoulders, even though they've been activated, should feel much more free as well. So just move your arms around. Okay, we're going to break this apart. We're going to do a forward fold. So I want your feet to come together. They're going to touch. Abs are nice and tight. Quads go on. First, second, third chakras are on. You're going to hinge from your hips. We're going straight spine down to the ground. Let your arms hang with a straight spine. Draw your shoulder blades down and back, suck in your tummy. See if you can use your abs to pull you closer to the floor. Draw those shoulder blades down and back, abs nice and tight. Don't push your butt back too far. We're going to hang here. We're going to lift the arches of our feet, turn on our knees like Mario says, lift through your quads. Suck in that tummy, draw it into your first, second, third chakras. Keep those lats fired up. Smiles are up. And now let go of your shoulders. You're going to do a full hang. Suck in that tummy, don't turn off your abs. And then now you can put your hands on your knees, bend your knees as we go into recovery position. You're going to suck in your tummy and then release. Suck into your tummy and release. Jaws relax, shoulder blades are down and back. But your tummy's sucking in. You're trying to get your navel to your spine. Okay? We're going to come up, but if your blood pressure drops, just come back into this position. We're going to shoot our arms up over the top of our heads. We're going to arch back in the opposite direction as you rock from side to side. Suck in that tummy. I think because of all the rain last night, all my clothing has shrunk from the humidity, and my clothing's not fitting so good. So I'm waiting for the weather to change so my clothes start fitting again. Okay, good. Go ahead and shake those arms out. Abs are nice and tight. If you felt any pressure in your low back, that means something turned off. We don't want things turning off. We're coming on to our knee, our left knee. Your right foot is forward. Your abs are nice and tight. This is our fun one. Keep your abs engaged. This is working on something called the hunting reflex. You're keeping your head still as the body moves underneath you. So you're going to go side to side with your abs engaged. If you do this correctly, your head stays over the top of the block. If your abs shut off, your head starts moving all over the place. We don't want your head moving. Not to say it's not fun to have your head moving, but that's dancing. We're not dancing right now. Suck in that tummy. Okay, push your hips forward, abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy, jaws relaxed. So as we touched on last class, the New Year's resolution. The New Year's resolution makes as much as telling me you're going to run a marathon in a month from now and having not trained. Because the New Year's resolution isn't one day. Okay, squeeze your shoulder blades down and back. We're going to stay forward as you take your right hand, grab your left foot. I'm going to angle off so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to try to draw your heel to your butt, push your hips forward, and you're going to move your hips side to side. So your New Year's resolution, if you made one, I think it's a horrible idea to do it because no one keeps it, should be a year-long project. Just like running for a marathon, when someone decides, they say, I'm running next year's marathon, I go, you're going to be fine. But if they say, I'm going to run next month's marathon, I'm going to teach them how to endure. And that's why when someone says, I am running, I have a New Year's resolution, that's why most people drop off at about 2 weeks. It's about 2.5 weeks, their resolution's gone. 90% of the United States. Maybe it's a United States thing, but I don't think it is. Okay, go ahead and release that leg. I'm gonna move back a little bit. You're gonna take your leg across midline and straight. We're gonna stretch forward. But the worst part of it, it teaches you how to give your word with much conviction and then retract it. That's why if you're gonna bother to make a New Year's resolution, you gotta do it. And you have to be realistic about it, it being a year-long project to see how you do the following year. Suck in your tummy. And then come back up again. We're going to switch sides. I have a client who's a money manager and accountant, and it's amazing what you can do in a year by just gradually doing it, by doing it consistently and slowly. And it's amazing what she says, that clients who thought they didn't have any money could have money in a very short amount of time, but they just have to be consistent. instead of thinking it's going to drop into the pot in one fell swoop. Okay, head over to top of block, abs are nice and tight. Keep that core on. We're moving side to side. Smiles are up. But remember, what's the most important part of having something like a New Year's resolution is the journey. It's not the destination. Suck in that tummy. Okay, we're gonna stretch forward. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. We're gonna go side to side once again. Smiles are up. Really keep those abs engaged. They'll want to turn off and load your low back. If you feel pressure in your low back, it means you need to tighten your abs. If you feel pressure in your knee, it means you need to tighten your quad and your hamstring, even your calf. Okay, now you're going to take your left hand, grab a hold of your right foot, pull your heel to your butt, and we're going to move our hips side to side. Suck in that tummy, don't let your abs hang out. Smiles are up. One of the weird things I observed as a kid growing up, okay, you can go ahead and release that leg and take your right leg straight across midline as we reach forward, is male growth pattern on their legs. Especially growing up in a place where you had to wear pants all the time, I would notice that men didn't have hair on their kneecaps, and they didn't have it in this one spot on the back of their calves. And my hair used to be like that until I moved here, and now I have hair on my kneecaps and on the back of my calf. And the reason why I noticed that is because just now I pivoted on the block and it ripped all my hairs out. Suck in your tummy. You want to feel this in muscles and not in joints, because it's time under tension. Just a little bit longer. And good. Oh. We're not going to come into kneeling. I'll use one of each. You're going to be in the kneeling position. We're going to feel what your quads feel like. If your quads are open, you should feel no pressure in your knees. If the tops of your feet are dying, that means you're not used to going into what's called plantar flexion. And that's a problem too, because that means you're not getting the most muscle dynamic push off when you step. So you're going to take your blocks, put them back behind you, and we're going to stretch. We're going to do our sit-ups here. You're going to suck in your tummy and then release. Suck in your tummy, release. This is teaching you to keep your abs engaged as you feel your quads lengthen. 6, 7, 8, navel to your spine, 9, 10. Then you're going to curl your toes under. This is a fun one because if you feel like your metatarsal head, the knuckles of your toes are going to snap off, that means you need to push your heels back further, because we want to stretch out our plantar fascia and our calf muscles and Achilles tendon. We don't want to stretch out the knuckles of our toes because that's a joint. We want to move tissue. In this position, you're now going to suck in your tummy and then release. You're changing the shape of your abdomen with a huge amount of tension on your feet. So you're learning to draw up tension from your feet to your abs instead of relying on flexibility only. 8, 9, suck that tummy in, 10. Good, we're gonna point our toes once again. This time we're gonna pop a wheelie, you're gonna lift your knees up off the ground, shoulder blades are down and back, abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. So one of the big problems of human domestication and urbanization is shoe wearing. Shoe wearing causes you to use your foot incorrectly. And then suddenly we can't point our toes and suddenly we start breaking toes. So we're going to make sure we don't break toes by keeping the flexibility in our feet. And once again, curl your toes under. Push your heels back so you don't feel the pressure. We're leaning back and you're sucking in your tummy. 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're immediately going to go into what's called pigeon. You're going to take your left leg forward, right leg back. Your rear leg is straight, your rear toes are pointed in the same direction as your leg. We're going to stay upright in this position first. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking your tummy. We're going to do ab stabilization. So you're going to tighten your abs, release your abs. Tighten your abs, release your abs. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. Try to sink deeper into this pose as you do. Suck it in, release, suck it in, release, suck it in, release. Yay! 9, 10. Now, we're just going to go forward. You can use your blocks or not. You can go against the ground. Now we're going to do our sit-ups again as you suck in your tummy, release. Suck in your tummy, release. This is teaching you, even though you feel a stretch and what should be a lengthening relaxation, that you have to create tension in your core so you don't get ripped apart or injured. No stretch should be happening in your knee or your hip. We want to feel the stretch in musculature, in your quads, in your glute max, piriformis, those kind of things. Okay, we're going to come back up again. You're going to bend your right knee in this position. You're going to grab it with your left hand and you're going to pull your heel to your butt. Chest is up nice and tall. More sit-ups. Suck in your tummy, release. Suck in your tummy, release. Abs are nice and tight. Smiles are up. Nine, 10. Now, you can go into a downward facing dog or a three-legged dog, whatever it takes to shake out and get the energy out of that hip. Okay, we switch sides. So now, your right leg goes forward, your left leg is back, your left toes are pointed the same direction your leg's going, left leg's locked out. Abs are nice and tight, we do sit-ups. Sink down as much as you can, suck in your tummy, release, suck in your tummy, release. You should not feel this in any joint, including your back. Your back's a bunch of little joints, so if you feel any pressure in your back, pull it to your core even more. We're drawing up our pelvic floor as we do this. 9, 10, as we now bring the blocks out in front of us or onto your elbows on the ground. Either way, depends on your flexibility. But once again, suck in your tummy. We're doing sit-ups. Make sure that rear leg is dynamic. Abs are nice and tight. You should feel a stretch in your right booty cheek. Nine, 10. We're going to come back up again. You're going to bend your left leg. You're going to reach back with your right hand and grab a hold of it. Abs are nice and tight. We're doing sit-ups again. Suck in that tummy, release. This means really activating the pelvic floor as well. You should feel the pelvic floor squeeze as you do this. Activating the pelvic floor is so important, especially as you get older, because no one wants to see you wet your pants when someone tells a joke. Or when you lift up something heavy. 10, good. You can go back into a down dog and jog your leg out or shake it out back behind you in a three-legged dog position. Come back into kneeling for a split sec. Oh, there it is. We're going to grab your ball and a block. You're going to have a seat on top of your ball and block as we continue to work that pelvic floor. Abs are nice and tight, shoulder blades are down and back. The ball's midway between your pubic bone and tailbone. Suck in your tummy, head is over top of the ball. And now you're going to squeeze your abs, release. Abs are tight, release. Suck in your tummy. These are sit-ups, so I want you to really try to engage your what's called your transverse abdominis. That's a muscle that comes across like a belt. It's like a weightlifter's belt or a wrestler's belt. Suck that tummy in. You should feel your abs cramping on the inside and not just on the surface. Keep your head over the top of the ball. It's going to want to move forward. Don't let it move forward. And on this last one, squeeze the ball, hold that squeeze. You're gonna bend your right arm. You're gonna do what feels like a bicep curl, only your left hand's gonna push down to resist it. Shoulder blades are down back, your head and neck are nice and relaxed as you twist from side to side. Okay, so what's important is your head doesn't move, so you're gonna keep your eyes looking forward. So we're gonna keep the cervical spine independent of the torso. Keep that opposition going on, contract that bicep, that right bicep, push with that left tricep. And good, we'll do the other side, palms up. Bicep curl, triceps are pushing down from the right, abs are nice and tight, rotate, don't move your head. Shoulder blades are down and back. Keep breathing. Suck in that tummy, keep your pelvic floor on. Good. Now you're going to take your arm, we're going to do a tricep hatchet. We're like throwing a hatchet. You're going to stop that motion. You create that opposition once again. Abs are nice and tight, and you're going to rotate. So we're kind of behaving like we're schizophrenic. Half our body wants to hit someone, and the other half is trying to prevent it. It's like when relatives are around. Smiles are up. Keep your shoulder blades down and back. Good, good. This side, hatchet with this side, prevent it with your right side. Abs are nice and tight, suck in your tummy, twisting. Abs are working. So your torso is rotating from your abs, not from your neck. Your head stays perfectly still. Okay, shake out your arms. We're gonna work that pelvic floor some more. Tighten your abs, tighten that pelvic floor, try to lift it up, squeeze that ball to a peak and then release. Squeeze it, release. So as a little kid, everyone's little kid dream is to play with the garden hose. I don't know why that is. But when I got older, my mom made it possible and talked to some firemen that I could use a fire hose. Fire hose is a whole different world. It's like a rocket in your hands. So you have to lean into it slightly. You totally have to use your core, and this just starts spraying side to side. So I made the mistake of following with my eyes, or with my head, and I started going all over the place. You have to hold your head still, follow with your eyes. That way your core stays pushing forward, and you don't fall backwards, and you don't get launched into the air like you're holding a hydraulic rocket. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna take your, what is this? Right foot forward. We're creating contralateral patterning now. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna engage your fingers. You're gonna rip apart with your arms. We're twisting over to the right. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. This should be working your abs. This should be a really good sit up if you're creating an upper ring with your arms. Ooh, look, even my arms are starting to get nice. Suck in that tummy. And good. We're going to switch sides. Creating that same opposition, just put the other thumb on top just to change things up a little. Shoulder blades down and back. Abs are nice and tight. We're going to rotate to the left. Suck in that tummy. You're moving through your abs. So it seems like we should always elongate things when we stretch, but sometimes it's functional engagement, and that's what creates stretch in other parts of your body. Keep both arms straight. Don't bend your elbows. Otherwise, you're a sloppy golfer. Suck in that tummy, chest up, head doesn't move. And good. We're switching sides again. Plus, this is just good practice of you moving your knees in a shortened position. Okay, we're going to put the palms of our hands together. We have that credit card once again. Shoulder blades are down and back. We're going to the right. Elbows do not bend. Keep that squeeze going on. Someone's trying to yank that credit card out from in between your hands. Suck that tummy in. And good. Switch sides. Push the palms of your hands together. Abs are nice and tight. Shoulder blades are down and back. We're going to rotate to the left now. So we're also working what's called contralateral motion. This is parasympathetic brain state work. It's a pattern of thriving and learning. Suck it in. And good. We're going to bring both feet to get up, forward. That's what I meant to say. Chest is up. We're going to continue our sit-ups. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. Balls midway between your pubic bone and tailbone. You're going to squeeze that ball and your abs and release. Suck in your tummy, squeeze the ball, release. Work that pelvic floor. These are your friends. The pelvic floor is what makes you jump. It's what makes you really agile on your feet. It gives you balance, core stabilization, protects all of your extremities, protects you in motion, and is good for sex. Suck that tummy in. Abs are engaged. Okay, now we're going to do sit-ups. We're going to put our hands to our forehead so we don't crank our neck. I want you to push your fingers into your forehead, and you're going to move by sucking in your tummy. So this is preventing you from just flexing your neck. I cannot stand it when we go to a gym and I see someone just cranking their neck and their body's not moving. You're moving through your abs as we go to the right and to left, right and left. Okay, go ahead and lower your arms. We're going to do a forward fold. So you're going to straighten both legs. We're going to do a forward fold. As your feet are parallel, you're lifting up your arches, externally rotating your legs. Your quads are on, your calves are on. First, second, third chakras are on. You're reaching for the ground now, which should be a lot more attainable. We're going to hold here for a little bit. Let your body accommodate into a deepening stretch. Abs are engaged. At no point should you feel this in any joints. If you do, it means that something needs to stabilize. And now hands go on your knees once again as your knees bend. We're in our recovery position as we do sit-ups again. Suck in your tummy and release. Suck in your tummy and release. So as I was telling Maria and I last night went up to the water tower to watch the fireworks, and it just started to dump rain. It was so crazy. It was like a typhoon blew through. Suck in that tummy and relax. Not that I know what a typhoon is. Really, I don't know what a hurricane's like either. Haven't experienced either, even though I live here. Somehow I believe typhoons have something to do with Asia and hurricanes have to do with everywhere else in the world. Okay, we're going to come back all the way to the ground. You don't need a ball for a second, and you're just going to kneel. Shoulder blades are down and back. Notice what it's like to be upright, but more importantly, just move your head and neck around. Should be getting very, very, very functional in its movements, less crunchy and grindy, and much more connected to your center, so you should naturally feel your abs turn on. Okay, we're going to move some of Christmas and New Year's dinner out of your system. Where the rib cage comes together is a little thing called your xiphoid process. You're going to stay off of that. We're going to stay off the costocondyle junction of the ribs, and we're going to stay off the floating ribs today. We're going to roll your belly clockwise, counterclockwise, top to bottom, side to side, lower abs, middle abs, upper abs, just careful of the costocondyle junction and the xiphoid process and floating ribs. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to go into a push-up position, or push-up with your knees down, or on your elbows. Any of the three ways are fine. Just keep the ball in motion. Remember, sharp pain is gas. Dull, achy pain is fecal material. Deep, boring pain is blood stagnation or adhesion. Right now, we should be a giant haggis from the amount of food we shoved into ourselves. What was that? Twilight Zone, To Serve Human. They thought these aliens came to help humanity, and instead it was a cookbook for humans. Anywhere it feels sore, get it out. Upper, middle, lower abs. Just careful of the architecture I explained to you. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Ugh. Keep breathing or you're going to feel nauseous. You find something particularly sore, you can roll it until it's loose. Oh my God, it's raining again. Like crazy rain. See what it's like to have your head higher than your butt or your butt higher than your head. Remember, if you feel this in your low back, it means something turned off. Turn it back on. Jaws relax. So don't transfer the tension of your pelvis into your jaw or your abdomen into your jaw. Just release it from where you don't want it. Okay, we're going to come back into kneeling to see how things feel. So for those that move a lot, you understand this process. We, instead of throwing things away, we tend to take all our stuff in boxes with us. And now we have boxes that we've never looked at for years and stuff that's obviously not important. Otherwise, we would have opened the boxes to go get it. We can do that with our abdomen. So we're going to roll a second time. And I really want you to get out of there what shouldn't be there, and that's pain. Because if it's sharp pain, it's gas. If it's dull, achy pain, it's fecal material. If it's deep, boring pain, it's blood stagnation or adhesion. We want to get all those out of there for 2022. And you're going to roll your belly a second time. Notice if your jaw's taking up the work, don't let it take up the work. See what it's like to have your butt higher than your head higher than your butt. You can go out to the sides, careful of those floating ribs though. There's something called viscerosomatics. Viscera means organs, somatic means body. Viscerosomatic referral, so the pain in your abdomen or internal organs can refer outward. And the greatest example of this is the ice cream headache. A cold substance hits your stomach, but you feel pain in your head. Or it can also be the distribution of a heart attack. Most people don't, unless they're having a massive heart attack. They don't feel it in their heart. They feel it in their hand, their wrist, their jaw, somewhere else. It's referral. So that's why we're getting the abdomen out and seeing if it refers pain elsewhere, because that's pain that's been there for a while. So a lot of times it's your knees, your low back, and your head from your abdomen. Okay? Come back into kneeling now. We're going to work above the xiphoid process in the diaphragm. We're going to roll the sternum. We're going to go gently, gently, gently over breast tissue. We're going to go into our armpits even. And you can go up into your throat, except if you have a microphone like I do, it's a little bit harder. But the way we're going to do this is in push-up or a knee on all fours with no weight on the ball, a little bit of weight, or you can drop a lot of weight. Whatever feels more comfortable. If you want to really get at it, you can go on your belly and roll at it for a longer time. You can even do range of motion of your arm as you roll things out. But get things moving. You're opening up lymphatics to the upper half of the body. You're opening up your lungs, heart, thyroid, thymus, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, spleen. All these are getting indirectly affected. Just roll it out, play with it, see what needs to open up. You can go onto your armpits, you can even go onto your sides, and in many cases, some of you will go onto your backs, that's fine too. Because it's just the back side of the front and the front side of the back, because we're a whole. Oh. Roll everything out, see how it feels like. You can even get the back half of your arm if you'd like. Oh. You can get the front half of your arm. You can get your throat as long as you're careful. And then we're going to put the ball underneath your chin. Your arms come out to your sides, and you're just going to do circles on top of the ball. Try to remove any cracking and popping by stabilizing your cervical spine instead of making the joints of your neck move. You guys are doing awesome. Gonna just watch you for a second. Really keep your core on. I know it's easy to turn off your abs, turn off your pelvic floor, but this is time you keep it on to protect things. Okay, and now come back into kneeling. As you come back into kneeling, notice how easy it is to engage your core now, how easy it is to draw your shoulder blades down and back, and now move your head and neck around and see how much more connected and independent your cervical spine feels. Okay, we're gonna go after a booty cheek. You're gonna put the ball behind your left booty cheek as you cross your left ankle over your right knee. You're going to roll out your butt. This is opening up your glute max piriformis complex. We're going to get anything out that feels sore. Notice if this refers pain to your knee or up in your back or even your neck. And that's because this muscle is so powerful it can do that. We're trying to relax it. Keep your abs engaged, suck in your tummy. If you'd like, you can reach up, grab your foot with your right hand and pull it in. Pull it in, pull it in. Draw your shoulder blades down and back and continue to roll. Get out anything that feels sore. Bless you. That was Maria sneezing. I always think it's unique what people say when they sneeze. Maria says, ashum. I say, ashoo boo 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 boo. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Ball goes underneath your right butt cheek, cross your right ankle over your left knee. So the hips are designed to do every motion of the body, because every motion comes from the hips. That's why the pelvic floor is down there, your abs are nearby, your glute max surrounds it and protects it. It's got all sorts of stabilizing structure. So it should feel very comfortable being able to do like spherical motion on top of the ball. Circular, spherical. Your smiles are up. Okay, and now your butt's gonna come off the ball. Off. What am I trying to say? You're putting your butt on the ground as your shoulder blades go down and back. You're gonna straighten your legs. You're gonna lay flat back against the ground. We're gonna first do it where you let your legs go, so your feet will naturally turn out, rock from side to side. This will turn off your abdominal muscles. So this will stretch out your psoas muscle specifically. Keep your abs engaged as you rock side to side. Jaws relaxed. And then now you're going to put your feet parallel, tighten your abs, try to draw a second chakra to your spine as you rock from side to side. But keep those feet parallel now. This will force your abs to work. Okay, bend your knees, lift your booty up. You're going to put the ball underneath your sacrum now. You're going to straighten your left leg. You're going to bend your right knee. You're going to roll on to your left hip. And you're going to take your right knee across your body as you do a spinal rotation. Abs are nice and tight. This is where abs are really important. So you don't take the work into your low back. We want you to rotate your organs. So keep your abs engaged. Shoulder blades are down back. Suck in that tummy. I don't care how deep you go into it. I do care if you keep your abs on. Now breathe. Like I said, from the fireworks last night, it was like a third stage smog alert in Los Angeles, here in Kailua. And good. We're gonna switch sides. So the ball goes now underneath your right butt cheek as your right leg goes straight. Roll onto your right hip, and then you could add a twist as your left knee comes over the top. Keep your abs engaged so you don't work your low back. Instead, shoulder blades are down back and you're breathing. Inhale and exhale. Abs are nice and tight. Feel what it's opening up. Okay, last but not least, you're going to put that ball back underneath your sacrum as you cross your, left knee over the top of your foot. You're going to bring your knee towards your chest. Grab a hold of your foot, and I want you to massage out your left foot. Poor little feet do so much for you, and we seldom repay them. And when we do repay them, we usually hit the coffee table with our smallest toe. That's the only time we give them attention, or if we walk too much. Oh, the worst thing in the world you could do to yourself, walking in New York City with the wrong pair of shoes on. That was awful. That I gave a lot of attention to my feet. Okay, and then we're going to switch. You're going to put your right ankle over your left knee. You're going to bring your left knee to your chest, and you're going to massage out your right foot. Keep your abs engaged though. Keep your pelvic floor on. Okay, and then go ahead and put both feet back out on the ground, straighten out both legs. Toes point towards the ceiling as you rock side to side. I had a client that was an Olympic level marathoner, and I always thought it was interesting that she never massaged her feet. She would chart like an insane amount of miles in a week, like 100, 200 miles a week running, but she never thought to massage her feet. That is how you abuse your employees. You want to make sure you repay your employees for what they do. Okay? Go ahead and roll off the ball, lay flat back against the ground. We're going to get ready to go on top of the roller. You're going to lay on the roller lengthwise, butt at one end, head at the other end. Oh. You're on your roller. Your feet are flat on the ground and parallel. Your knees are over the tops of your feet. Your shoulder blades are down and back, squeezing the roller slightly. First chakra's on. Third chakra is closing up the rib cage. Second chakra is drawing your spine to the roller. Now you're going to go into the difficult practice of breathing. Just inhale and exhale. But keep your abs engaged. This is what people think they cannot do, but you can. You guys stay breathing on the roller. I'm going to sit up to bring you guys home. This is the first day of 2022. I'm already having troubles remembering it. We were so fixated on 21 and 20 that now we're in 2022. Aesthetically, it's hard for me to look at. Writing it down, 2022, it looks kind of ugly. But it's where we're at. And we make the best of it. We do it intelligently. We do it with our eyes open, objectively. And we do it based on love. So as you set yourself up for this New Year's, just envision what you want for the year. It's not a resolution. It's just a vision. Because Martin Luther said something really interesting. I have a dream. And because of it, 1 million people before there was internet ended up in Washington, D.C. on a singular day at a singular moment. So I want you to envision your 2022. What's it look like in terms of health? What's it look like in terms of abundance, prosperity? What's it look like in terms of ease and interaction with family? What's it look like in terms of advancement, education, play? Nothing's wrong with wanting to play. What's it going to look like in terms of freedom, expression, joy, laughter? And finally, what's it look like in terms of meditation and connection to something higher? Picture what you're heading towards. You got to give yourself that framework, and I promise you, you will fill in the rest of the details. But you have to lock in that vision and hold true to it. And do it a little bit every day. Connect into breathing. Relax that jaw. Stabilize your core. And everything we went after is actually after pelvic floor, so make sure that's engaged. See what the energy feels like in your shoulders and neck. You guys have made your way to meditation. So just breathe. And on behalf of Maria, who's running around and behind the scenes, and me, thank you for being here. Happy 2022. Thanks for always being open and supportive and willing. We appreciate you very much. Namaste.